Alright, YouTube. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? It's the J-Rex here. I hope everybody's doing okay. As always, I hope everybody's hanging in there, trying to make the best of things, trying to stay as positive as they can during such turmoil times. But luckily, to help everybody have faith in the future, I do the one thing that I do best at talking about, which is silver, gold, precious metals, yeah, and I'll continue to fill precious metals investors with what little dwindling hope they have left in it, because it's really hard. It's really hard to stay in gold and silver because just you got so many people around you. Just telling you, oh, get into stocks, oh, get into Bitcoin, oh, you should be doing this with your money, you should be doing, oh, you're buying silver, you're buying gold, what is wrong with you? And if you made it this far without giving up on gold and silver, that goes far beyond any length of, of commendation for you. It just shows that you have a lot of willpower, a lot of discipline, and a lot of fortitude to be able to make it this far and to still stick with gold and silver despite what everybody else is saying about it. So very good. Anybody that's still left in the battlefield with gold and silver, like, you guys are super awesome and very strong-willed and just very amazing aptitude. So you should be very proud of that. Anybody that's still in. It takes a lot of willpower and determination to stay in something that everybody else is telling you not to be in. But that's what makes people successful, right? Despite all the obstacles and the odds against them, they still stick it through. That's what makes successful people, right? So yeah, I bought some silver. I don't know if you can see that. Merry Christmas. I don't know if you can see that. I bought a couple more. I don't make as much money as I used to, but even with the money that I do make, I'm still making sure to buy any silver that I can. Yeah, everybody's like, come on, tell us already. What information do you have? How do you know these prices are going to these prices are going to be reached? And I know the last video I made, a lot of people were like, oh, I couldn't finish the video because you talked too much. Well, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of a talkative person, alright? And if people can't handle 5 minutes of me talking too much, and if they can't handle that in order to discover some information that will lead them to becoming millionaires, if they can't handle a 5-minute conversation in order to become a millionaire, then they might have some other issues they need to figure out. But I'll try to keep talking to the minimum. So yeah, I think that's enough for an intro. I think I can get right down to it. So I'm basically, it's what I said in my last video, but I'm going to expand on it a little bit more to further deliver this concrete evidence that gold and silver will skyrocket to these values. So I don't know if I'm the only one that knows this information, because I feel like I'm the only one that speaks like positively about gold and silver. I like even the most amazing like YouTubers out there. I don't know, like even the most optimistic YouTubers out there, like David Morgan or all the other random supposed economic experts on YouTube, like David Morgan. There's a lot more people, but I don't know their names. But even the most optimistic silver analysts, like they don't really go out with their like predictions, their forecasts. They're like, oh, silver will go to $30 an ounce, silver will go to $40 an ounce, silver will go to $50 an ounce, silver will go to $100 an ounce, and I'm like, guys, is that all you could say? Like, silver is gonna go way higher than $100 an ounce. Like, the most optimistic silver analysts are like, oh, it's gonna go to $100 an ounce. I'm like, that's it? Like, that's all you're gonna say? It's gonna go way higher than that. And the most optimistic gold experts are like, oh, it's gonna go to $3,000 an ounce. I'm like, that's it? Like, guys, like, you guys are like supposed to be like super smart, right? I mean, you guys are super smart, like super intelligent, the best of the best. How are these like the best numbers you can come up with? And I don't know if I'm just seeing something that other people cannot see, but I see this and I feel like nobody else is seeing this, and I have to speak up and say something about it because nobody else will. Like, people just keep giving these like predictions. Oh, it's gonna go to this number, it's gonna go to this number, it's gonna go to this number. But I'm just like, where are you getting your numbers from? Can you explain to me where you're getting your numbers from? You can't just like throw these numbers out of nowhere. I need some, like, how are you getting these numbers? And they don't explain it. Or you'll have these super optimistic like silver investors like Chris Dwayne. You know, like, it's either too conservative or too like out there. It's too conservative or too out there. You don't really get anything like, you don't get that realistic like sweet spot. And Chris Dwayne, I love Chris Dwayne. I'm gonna miss him, dude. YouTube, I'm gonna talk about you guys soon, man. But YouTube is being really stupid. They're shutting down Chris Dwayne. I love Chris Dwayne's videos. I love that man. He's a great man. And it sucks that they shut him down. But Chris Dwayne, but he'll come up with these like really like, wow, gold and silver are gonna be a 1-to-1 ratio. Like 1 ounce of silver is gonna get 1 ounce of gold. And I'm just like, now that makes me really happy to hear that. I hope someday maybe gold and silver will be a 1-to-1 ratio, and I'm gonna hold out to that someday. I'll keep some extra silver on the side. I'm not gonna sell everything, but I'll keep some silver on the side just in case Chris Dwayne is right. Gold and silver go to a 1-to-1 ratio. But these are like, you know what I'm saying? These are all like predictions. These are all predictions, but we don't have any concrete numbers behind them. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to find some concrete numbers. I wanted to find some concrete evidence. Numbers that I know positively, like 100%, gold and silver will reach. Guaranteed. And I wanted to figure this out. And I did a lot of research, and I'm positive. No, I'm not even pretty sure. I'm positive gold and silver are going to hit these numbers. I'm like 99% positive that gold and silver are going to hit these numbers. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And I'm going to explain now. Finally, like, I can get to it. So I'll go ahead. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to explain how I'm going to do it. So, gold, guaranteed, is going to be at least $27,000 1 ounce. As of now, gold guaranteed at least will hit $27,000 an ounce. Silver, guaranteed, is going to hit at least $1,300 1 ounce. One of these is going to be guaranteed $1,300 as of now. Now the numbers it'll get even better from here. This is right now. So everybody's like, how did you get these numbers? Now, if anybody has seen my last video, I said basically what you do. Gold is supposed to back up all of the dollars in existence printed by the United States printing press. I can't even say government because the printing press is ran by a public entity. It's not even government. It's not even federal. So, yeah. So gold is supposed to back up all the dollars in existence, you know, printed by the United States. Federal Reserve banking system. Now, before, gold used to be $20 an ounce. back in the early 1900s. It used to be $20 an ounce. But our national debt is our money, is the dollar. Our dollar is debt. National debt is the dollar. So the national debt back in early 1900s was very small. We didn't have nowhere near as much national debt as we do now. The heck. So how I came up with this number. So what you basically want to do is you want to take the national debt and divide it by the price of gold. So in 1919, the price of gold was 1990. So in 1919, the price of gold was 100,000 million billion was okay. So how did I get these numbers exactly? I gotta calculate it. Well, okay, yeah. See, that's the thing. I have to. There were only a couple periods in time where gold was equal to the national debt in America. So it's kind of a little bit technical. I'm trying to remember, but see, gold does not always equal all of the money printed by the government, by the national debt. It only happened like a couple times in history where gold catches up to all the money printed by the United States banking system. So these are the times where you want to sell your gold. That you want to sell your gold and silver when they finally catch up to all the dollars printed by the United States banking system. And so the last time we had that was 1980. 1980, gold and silver caught up to all of the dollars printed by the United States, and then gold shot up to $850 and silver shot up to $50. So I think when gold caught up to all the national debt, I know for sure it was in 1932. In 1932, gold caught up to all of the dollars printed by the United States banking system. So I'm going to do 1932 or 1933. I'm going to do 1932. 1932, it was $19 billion. 100,000 million billion. So the national debt in 1932 was about 19 billion, 100,000 million billion, and then divided by the price of gold, which was $20 at the time. So you get about roughly 100,000 million, 950 million. But in my last video, I kept it simple, and I was like, you know what, we're just gonna make it 1 billion. We're gonna make it 1 billion to keep it simple. You know, round it up to make it less complicated. So I got 1 billion. So basically what you do to find the price of gold, what it should be, is you take the national debt that is in existence by the in the United States and you divide it by 1 billion. Now how did I get that number? You take the national debt and you divided by the price of gold when gold was caught up to all the debt printed by the United States. And there was only, I know for sure, 2 points in time where gold caught up to all the debt printed by the United States. It was 1980, 1932 for sure. You can check. You can try checking the other years. I know for sure those were the 2 years gold caught up to the national debt. So, now to test this theory, to make sure this number is right, 1980, what was the national debt? The national debt in 1980 was about 900 billion. So you take 900 billion, you divide that by 1 billion, you get $900 gold, which was roughly what the price of gold was back in 1980. In 1980, gold was around the price of about 800, like it was like 850, like $900. It was around that price. So yeah, in 1980, gold shot up, and it caught up to all the debt printed by the United States, and it shot up all the way to $850, $900 an ounce. Now, let's do that calculation again. Right now, the national debt, $27 trillion. What is gold going to be? $27 trillion divided by 1 billion. There you go, $27,000 gold for 1 ounce right now. So, there you have it. How do I know that gold is going to go to $27,000? Because it has to catch up to all the debt printed by the United States. It did it in 1932, and it did it in 1980, and it's going to do it again. Interesting enough, to further add on to my evidence, interesting enough, the numbers also match up with the Dow. So, the stock market, there were 2 points in time also, at the same time, where 1 ounce of gold was able to buy everything in the Dow Jones. It was able to buy the top 30 companies in the Dow Jones, everything, with 1 ounce. It happened twice as well. It happened twice also. It happened in 1932, and it happened in 1980. It happened twice, where about 1 ounce of gold was able to buy up the entire stock market, the entire Dow Jones. So you can have all the top companies in the stock market, you know, all the best of the best American companies. You will own them, you know, with 1 ounce of gold, and that happened twice. So, what is the Dow Jones at right now? 30,000? What is the stock market at? Oh no! Dow Jones is about $30,000. $30,000. 1-to-1 ratio. So, according to the Dow-to-gold ratio, gold will be worth $30,000 according to the Dow-to-gold ratio. So $30,000, $27,000, they are not too far off from each other. So the numbers are similar, which means gold is gonna hit that number. It's gonna hit it. Like, if it was wrong, if the data was wrong, if I was wrong, I would be getting completely crazy numbers. I'd be getting like 2 over here, I'd be getting 2 over here, I'd be getting 50 million over here, and then 5.5 here. You know, like, the numbers would be all over the place, but these numbers are actually really close to each other, and they're fairly consistent. $30,000, $27,000. I mean, what's the national debt right now? The national debt is like, it's about to be $28 trillion. So it might as well. So gold, 28,000 national debt. Gold Dow, 30,000. They're basically the same numbers, pretty much. So $27,000 ounce of gold, guaranteed. It's gonna happen right now. It will happen. 1 ounce of gold will get you $27,000. Now, I wanted to expand on this even more. I was like, what about silver? Is silver consistent with all this data too? And then I decided to go one step even further and check silver. And crazy enough, I got the same exact numbers with silver also. At one point in time, silver was supposed to back up all the dollars in existence, all the debt, all the dollars created by the United States. Silver at one point in time was supposed to back up the United States currency as well. But then in the late 1800s, I don't know, they took silver off. So the dollar wasn't backed by silver anymore, like in the late 1800s or something. So they took silver off, and silver was not backed. The dollar was not backed by silver anymore. You couldn't get silver for dollars anymore, and it happened in the late 1800s. But funny enough, even though they did that, silver still caught up to all the money, all the currency, all the dollars printed by the United States, which is crazy. So even though the United States government took gold and silver off of the dollar wasn't backed by gold and silver anymore, it still did not stop gold and silver from catching up to all the dollars printed by the United States. Like, even though the dollar wasn't backed by gold and silver anymore, it still inadvertently was. Like, gold and silver was like, oh, you want to take me off? You don't want me to back your dollar anymore? Well, too bad, buddy. I'm still gonna back the dollar, no matter what you do. Even if you take me off, I'm still gonna catch up to all the dollars printed by you guys. So even though they took them off, gold and silver still caught up to everything printed by the United States. So now I'm going to do the same thing with silver. Now, silver is a little bit different, because since silver was taken off the dollar standard a little bit earlier than gold, it was a little bit different, and I couldn't use 1932 as the number because silver wasn't backed. The dollar wasn't backed by silver at the time. So instead, what I discovered through research was so whenever silver catches up to all the money printed by the United States, it catches up through the CPI inflation. The CPI inflation is the consumer price inflation, I believe. Yeah, consumer price inflation. So whenever the consumer price inflation shot up high enough, that's when the power in silver was unleashed, and silver caught up to all of the dollars printed by the United States. So it happened, interesting enough, it only happened twice as well recently. So silver caught up to all the dollars printed by the United States twice. Very crazy, huh? Same thing as when gold caught up to all the dollars printed by the United States twice. And when gold caught up to the stock market twice, since the induction of the Federal Reserve banking system. So when the CPI inflation went up to a high enough number, that unleashed the power in silver, and silver did an accounting of all the national debt, of the total national debt, all the dollars printed by the United States. So that happened in 1919. I believe that number was, I think the CPI inflation has to be like 15% or higher for silver to finally, unleash its power, full power. So in 1919, sorry this is a long video, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of data, So in 1919, like I said, the national debt was 2700,000 million billion. Was about 27 billion dollars, the national debt. This was when the CPI inflation shot up and silver ended up shooting up. And silver price at the time, back in 1919, was about $1.32. So I do the same thing, 100,000 million billion. Divided by so the national debt about 27 billion divided by the price of silver, which is $1.32 back in 1919, you get a number of about 20,000. I'm just going to use an estimation 100,000 million billion. You get about 20 billion. 20 billion. Now you take this number, what you do is you take the national debt of, just to show you that this number is right, I'm going to take the national debt back in 1980. The national debt of 1980 was about 900 billion, right? 900 billion. whoops, divided by, what did I say it was? Divided by 20 billion. 900 billion divided by 20 billion. I got $45. 45, was that the price that silver hit in 1980? $45? Pretty dang close. The price of silver shot up to $50 an ounce in 1980. I got $45. So this number is pretty dang close to what the price of silver hit in 1980. If I was more accurate with these numbers, I would probably get that extra 5 and get the $50 if I used the exact numbers. So there you go. I know this number is right because I got $45 an ounce for silver in 1980. That was basically what the price was in 1980. This is about 45. This is about 45. This is about $50. Price of silver hit about $50 in 1980. Boom, bada bing. There you go. I know this number is right. Now, the national debt. We're gonna do it again. National debt in 19 or right now. The national debt right now, 27 trillion. Divided by 20 billion. You got $1,350 silver. So, bada bing, bada boom. Anybody happy? Is anybody happy right now? So $27,000 gold, $1,300 silver. Right now, as of right now, that's what the price should be. So is anybody happy? Did I finally, you know, the epiphany? Somebody hit the epiphany. Somebody's like jumping for joy, doing cartwheels around their living room, you know, like doing backflips off the sofa. Like, anybody happy? I hope this helped somebody out there, and I hope this would give them the information, the information that they needed to have peace from within, that they know they made the right decision in buying gold and silver. So gold, guaranteed $27,000 an ounce. Silver, $1,300 an ounce, guaranteed. Now people want to ask, when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? Now, I'm going to say it's going to happen between 2025 2030. We are getting really close to selling our gold and silver. Like everybody right now, I've been talking about gold and silver. I've been primarily silver. I've been talking about silver for years. For years. I've been talking about it for God knows how long. I've been talking about this shit since I like graduated kindergarten, man. Like I've been talking about this for a long time. You guys that have stuck with me through all these years, you know I've been talking about this for a while. So now our time is finally coming close. We are getting close. It's 2021 right now. Price of gold and silver will skyrocket by 2025 to 2030. We're getting very close. And I'm telling everybody, we need to prepare ourselves and we need to get ready for that big day. When it comes time to sell gold and silver, when gold and silver finally catch up to all the debt printed by the United States, we need to be ready and we need to be there when that happens. Otherwise, we're going to miss a very wonderful opportunity and we're going to have to wait another 50 years again for another opportunity for this to happen. I don't know about you, I don't got another 50 years left in me. I mean, maybe, I might. I mean, but by that time, I'll be old and gray and I'll be wearing like some man diapers and stuff and I'll be like pooping myself, you know? So we don't have a lot of time. The next time this happens, we'll be old and gray and probably dead. We need to get this right now. We need to get this right now. I will tell you all when I'm going to sell. You guys can, you know, sell when I sell. I don't know. It's up to you. You might find a better time to sell, might find a worse time to sell, but we need to get it right. So, I don't know. I mean, this video is so long. Can I talk about this? I mean, you guys want me to talk about it? Like, how do I know it's going to be from between 2025 2030? How do I know? Do you guys want to know? I mean, we're already here, right? I might as well tell you guys how I got that number. So basically, it's the Dow Jones. Look at the Dow Jones. Ever since the Federal Reserve came in and screwed up our money, messed with our money, we've had this very constant cycle throughout the 1900s. So basically, what happened was in 19 you go through periods of highs and lows. The Dow and the Jones and the gold. You go through your periods of highs and lows. So basically, what happened was gold was able to buy up all of the stock market in 1932, and then in 1980, gold was able to buy all of the stock market again in 1980. So that's a period of about 48 years. So basically, all I did was, well, it happened 1932, it happened 1980. So add another 48, 1980 plus 48, you get about somewhere between 2025 to 2030. That's how I got the number. And you're like, well, how can you be so sure that it's going to hit that in 50 years? Well, there's pictures on Google. Like, look it up on Google. Type in the Dow-to-gold ratio, and basically you're going to see the chart of the Dow-to-gold ratio, and you'll see like these red lines. I don't know who did that, but whoever created that chart, thank you. I mean, they're a genius as well for seeing something that I didn't see. They saw where the chart was headed, and they were able to draw a red line. And that red line was correct like multiple times. Like, they drew that red line and it was correct multiple. I'll put the picture in here so you can see the red line was like, oh, okay, this is where the high is gonna hit. It's gonna hit this. It's gonna hit this. And the red line got it right multiple times. And then the red line was also able to predict the lows. It was also able to predict when the stock market was able to buy up all of this gold, and the gold could not buy jack diddly squat. And it was able to predict the lows, and it drew a line going down, and it was able to predict where that bottom was going to be 3 times with that red line. So it was able to predict the top twice, and it was able to predict the bottom triple with this red line. And it got it right multiple times. But that's just how mathematics work. If anybody took was it calculus or something? As long as you have 2 points, you can predict what the third point is going to be. You just need the 2 points. And they had the 2 points for the bottom, and they were able to predict where the third point was going to be. They have the 2 points for the top. They're going to be able to predict where the third point is going to be. It's just how it is. People just can't be. It can't be like that. It can't. That's just how it works. People behave in very predictable ways, and people do predictable behavior, and you're able to predict that behavior with points. And the national debt, gold and silver are supposed to back up the national debt, and you can see gold and silver are able to do an accounting of the national debt multiple times over. That's just gold. That's just gold catching up to all the money printed by the United States, and it's catching up through all the money that was pumped and dumped into the stock market. It's able to just do an accounting of everything. It always catches up. It's just mathematics where it just catches up to everything printed. So it's just what it's supposed to do, and it's been doing that for a long time now. So I think that's everything I needed to say. Did you guys manage to stick it through? This was a long video, man. Shoot. Yeah, if you guys are able to stick it through this long, you guys have the patience of a saint. If you're able to stick it through. But it's good, because now you're going to be rewarded for your patience, and you're going to be a millionaire. So I think that's all I got to say. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Now, the interesting thing is, gold and silver have both been removed. They're neither of them back the United States dollar anymore. So I think what's going to happen is they're going to both behave in similar ways now. They were a little bit separate in the early 1900s. Silver shot up at a different time period than gold. But I think the reason why that happened was because at that time gold was still backing the dollar, and silver was just kind of just floating out there in in the middle of nowhere. But now the dollar and silver have both been removed. Neither of them back the US dollar anymore. So if gold moves, silver is going to be moving with it. They're going to be moving together now because they've both been separated together by the United States. And in 1980 they moved up together, and that was around the time when they were both not backing the dollar anymore. Today, gold and silver still do not back the dollar. So when the next time gold and silver shoot up, they're going to be shooting up together, and they're going to catch up to all the money printed by the United States government. So there you go, $1,300 silver and $27,000 an ounce gold guaranteed. Now somebody might be thinking, wait a minute, what if gold, is it possible that, the United States can just delete all of the money printed and just like start from scratch? Either way, if that happens, even if that happens, gold is still going to be very valuable, because even if they were to create a new currency, the gold would still be extremely valuable because that's what gold has always been able to buy. Gold was able to buy about $20 worth of purchasing power of the dollar back in the 1900s, and $20 was able to buy you, this and this and this and this and this. So gold was able to, you were able to buy about $20 worth of stuff back in the early 1900s. When gold catches up to all the national debt, gold is going to catch up to $27,000, and gold's going to be able to buy all that stuff again that $20 was able to buy back in the early 1900s. You see what I mean? And so gold was always able to buy this amount of stuff, back then, and gold is always going to be able to buy this amount of stuff now. Like what back in the early days, like silver was able to buy this amount of gas or something, and then nowadays silver is still able to buy that amount of gas or something. So it's going to catch up. Gold and silver are always going to maintain their purchasing power. You get what I mean? It's the dollar that's going all over the place. But gold and silver have always maintained their purchasing power, and they were able to buy this amount of stuff. And when gold and silver finally skyrocket up back to its true value of what it's supposed to be, gold $27,000, silver $1,300, gold and silver are going to reach their full potential, their full power, and they're going to be able to buy a bunch of stuff that they're supposed to be able to buy, and they're going to reach their full potential, full buying power very soon. Okay, so and plus you can't just go. The United States, are they gonna just like call China, or call these people, or call these people, call that people, call China, call Germany, and be like, hey, can we have our dollars back? We need all of our dollars back so we can burn them and set them on fire. We need to delete all of our dollars from existence. They're not gonna do that. That's gonna be too hagglesome. So this is what it's gonna hit, guaranteed. I know it. It's gonna happen, okay? Everything is gonna continue as it's going. The government is gonna continue doing what they're doing. They're probably gonna just take the easy way out, and they're gonna try to print their way out of this hairy situation. They're not gonna try to do the honorable thing. I mean, they didn't do it in 1980. They didn't do it in 1932. They're not gonna do it now. They're gonna try to print their way out of this. We're gonna have an inflationary crash, and gold and silver are gonna do an accounting of all of the money printed by the United States, and all the people watching this right now are gonna be very rich. They're gonna be millionaires. You're gonna be super rich, and you're gonna be able to buy a lot of nice stuff with your fully unleashed gold and silver. You're going to be able to buy a nice house, a nice car. You're going to be able to buy up the stock market. People watching this video right now, you guys are going to be millionaires, man. Just stick it through. Wait until 2025 to 2030. You guys will be patient. You guys will be millionaires. When gold reaches to a 1-to-1 ratio with the Dow, when gold catches up to all of the dollars printed by the United States, when silver catches up to all the debt printed by the United States, that will be the time to sell. I'll let you guys know when to sell. We're getting very close. It's time to prepare. Keep stacking what you can. We're running out of time. Fight the good fight. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.